Welcome to another episode of Drunk Guys on Chick Flicks, the podcast that's back, baby! Happy New Year, everyone. We're back.
Happy New Year!
We took a short hiatus, and we're back to do more podcasts for you. I'm your host, Matt, and with me, as always, is your co-host, Garrett.
I'm Garrett.
Garrett, what are we watching this week?
New Year, new me.
Is that like your resolution?
New Year, new me.
Okay. All right. Are you jerking around like? Okay.
Hey, I just wanted to get that out.
All right. New
Feels
Year,
good.
new you. Got it.
Feels good. New Year, new me.
What are we watching this year? This week? Damn it!
This year's right. Well, more of these movies.
Well, okay, that's fair.
But we're gonna watch 1987's Overboard.
Overboard.
Starring Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell.
Yeah, directed by Gary Marshall and written by Leslie Dixon.
Gary Marshall sounds familiar.
We just did a movie with him last episode.
That was literally the last one? That was New Year's Eve?
New Year's Eve. He directed New Year's Eve. He directed Princess Diaries, Mother's Day, Pretty Woman. He's been all over the map. He's come back.
Prolific.
I mean, this is the third Gary Marshall movie we've done, I guess, because we did Pretty Woman.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
Leslie Dixon wrote the screenplay for Mrs. Doubtfire. Wrote the screenplay for Freaky Friday, the Lohan version.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wrote the screenplay for Heartbreak Kid. That's
Ben Stiller?
Ben Stiller joint, yeah.
Yeah. Joint. Hate you. Joint. Keep going.
She wrote Limitless, Just Like Heaven, Hairspray, and Look Who's Talking Now.
Limitless with Bradley Cooper.
Yeah.
Weird.
B. Coops.
And Look Who's Talking Now.
Not the other two, just Look Who's Talking Now.
That's the one with the dogs.
Yeah, the bad one. The worst one. Well, the first one is pretty good.
Okay.
Fuck you. Anyway, starring Goldie Hawn, Kurt Russell, Edward Herrmann, Catherine Hellmond, Mike Haggerty, and Roddy McDowell.
Is Edward Herrmann the grandpa from Gilmore Girls?
Yes. Yes, he is.
Because I know the grandpa from Gilmore Girls.
He passed away recently, a couple of years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a couple of years ago.
Rory, Lorelai. Right?
You know, I didn't know that Rory is short for Lorelai. I found that out when my wife was rewatching Gilmore Girls.
Like they're both named Lorelai?
Yes.
That's weirder.
That's fucking weird.
I don't care for it.
Yeah, I don't like it either. So, Garrett, why are we watching this movie?
We're watching this movie because somebody won a bet.
How many weeks ago? Too many weeks ago. Too many to count. Yeah.
Really 7 weeks ago.
Right, because we took a couple weeks off. And
took 2 weeks off, and then there was 4 holiday movies.
5
another holiday movie.
Yeah.
7 weeks ago.
Woo!
Yikes. And you won the bet.
Yeah, I did. And I picked Overboard. And the reason I picked Overboard was because I just had a beer in mind that would fit with it. So
it's also a classic, I think, in the genre.
Sure.
I was raised on this movie to some degree. I've seen it a ton in my youth.
You have said that you've been raised on so many movies that I just think that you've been raised in a old movie theater. Like you were that's where you lived. And
yeah. My diet mostly consisted of popcorn and
rat feces.
Wow.
Most.
I was gonna go Jujubes or
rat feces,
Red Vines.
De poo poo.
Wow.
Yeah. So we're drinking Garvey's Point Brewing Sea Spray IPA.
It's a Long Island brewery.
Yeah, it's a great Long Island.
It's a great Long Island brewery. I think it's a pretty middle of the road ABV in terms of 6.7. Yeah,
it's delicious. It's a delicious IPA.
I've had it. I don't remember it offhand. I don't remember.
You don't remember? I've had it recently, and it's delightful.
Okay, cool. I look forward to it.
Cool.
Any trivia? You got any trivia for this film?
I've got some trivia.
What do you got?
Apparently, according to Kurt Russell, the movies found most on people's boats are this movie and Captain Ron, both starring him. Captain Ron, by the way, great Kurt Russell flick.
It is.
And Martin Short. Love Martin Short.
No, I remember loving that movie. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I'm having an incredible year.
I'm having an incredible
New Year, new me.
But what's going to be new?
New Year, new me.
So you're going to stop interrupting me, or is that the New Year, new me?
New Year, new me.
Apparently, this plot was influenced by the Italian movie Swept Away.
No idea.
Yeah, me neither. John Candy was considered for the role Billy, but was busy filming Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, which arguably
great movie.
Probably better movie.
Yeah, probably a better movie.
Better for him, at least in his career, I would imagine.
Really love John Candy. Really taken away from us too young. You know.
He partied hard.
I think it was actually just a heart attack, though. I don't think it was an overdose.
I don't think it was an overdose either.
I think it was just a ham sandwich. You know, like
Mama Cass. Ham sandwich.
Yeah, like I think he just did too much. But
Hector Elizondo has a cameo in this movie, which apparently is a Gary Marshall thing.
wait, the Hector Elizondo, as in Kaminsky?
Kaminsky himself.
Get me Kaminsky.
Who?
You know, the guy. He's like an electrician or something. I don't know.
And the last thing that I wrote down, and it's just because I thought it was kind of silly, is when Grant is singing into the seashell, there's a stack of videos behind him, like just in the scene. And apparently one of those video cassettes is the pornographic film The Pink Clam from 1986.
Sure. Is that a real movie?
I guess.
And is Grant Kurt Russell?
Grant is something I should have known. No, Grant is not Kurt Russell. It's Edward Herrmann. Oh. That's the dad from Gilmore. The grandpa.
The grandpa from Gilmore Girls.
Yes.
Okay.
So that's a little fun.
We'll keep an eye out for the Pink Clam, I guess. That's a funny little Easter egg.
Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell, of course, at this point had become life partners.
Yeah, never married, but they've been together since 1983. So
good for them. Great.
They were already for 4 years in, 4 years deep.
They apparently threw a big barbecue for all the cast and crew during the filming of this movie.
Isn't that nice?
So nice of them.
Isn't that nice though?
And at the beginning of their relationship, just trying to show off their love.
We should throw more barbecues. New Year, new me.
We're not a couple.
New Year, new me. So, okay. I forgot that it has nothing to do with this movie, other than the fact that it's a Goldie Hawn fact. I forgot Kate Hudson was her daughter until we were kind of preparing for this movie a little bit.
I know this is a shitty thing to say, but I sometimes forget Kate Hudson exists, and then I remember she's in one of my favorite movies of all time.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days?
Yes!
You're absolute.
Oh my God, obviously. How have we not done that
Your new number one?
My new number one?
Yeah.
No, fucking Almost Famous.
Oh, yeah. True. Yeah, that's her best movie.
Come on.
That's an incredible movie.
She's also in... Nope, gone. Forever.
How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days? Your new number one? Is that what is that? We were just talking about that, isn't that?
That's actually my new number one.
Yeah.
So
new number one.
Okay, so wait. Here's a question that we didn't bring up.
New Year, new me.
That we didn't bring up off mic, but New Year, me. Are we starting from scratch with our list, or we just keep going? We're gonna keep going.
We're gonna keep going.
Okay,
man.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Like an omnibus list, a compendium list, a really really long list.
I don't know what. Okay, that I was gonna say. I don't know what any
there
of those
it is.
words meant.
There it is.
Do we have a bet?
Our bet is going to be, I guess it goes hand in hand, but our bet's going to be how many times they say the word overboard in this movie.
I feel like we need to do better work with this.
I know.
In general.
Well, I have to imagine when she goes overboard, someone's like, "Man overboard" or something like that. But
okay. But we're going to go with how many in total for
the
entire movie.
Yeah, you can bet first.
Well, I mean, I won the last bet, so you bet first. One time?
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were correcting me. I was like, no, I said I won the last bet. I get it.
You winned.
You winned. You
winned
it.
Do you mean to say winned?
I winned it.
Real dick.
Okay, so you're saying one? All right.
I'm saying one time.
I'm going to say 2 times.
Oh, man. What a fucking heated...
You're the fucking asshole here.
What an excellent sort of... Yeah, fine. Well, I say one time. You say 2 times.
Yeah, so if they say it 3, I still win.
If they say it 0, I still win.
Okay.
Deal.
Yeah, I mean, but you understand there's more numbers after 2 than there are before 1, right?
What have I done?
Oh, God, what have I done?
God, what have I done? All right, so that'll be the bet.
Hey, we're happy to be back.
Yeah, super happy to be back. New year, new me. So,
I hate you.
I think that's it for intro shit, right?
Yeah, we're gonna go watch this movie.
We're gonna drink some Sea Spray IPA from Garvey's and watch this movie. If you have not seen this movie and want to watch it, pause us here. And as always, we're sorry for whatever happens next.
And we'll see you on the other side.
New year, new me. And we're back.
Hey, we're back.
I like this movie a lot. Broad strokes. Hit me, Matt. How'd you feel with this movie, man?
I love this movie. I really had a great time with this one.
You sound really sincere, too.
You know what? I'm a little drunk, so that...
It's not like the normal, hey, man, how'd you do? You're like, I loved this movie or whatever.
No, I really love this movie. I had a really great time.
Yeah.
I'm a little toasty, too.
God bless.
Hey, God bless you. What did you think, Broad Strokes?
So I remember being forced to watch this movie a lot. So I had it in my head as a
they taped you down and strapped your eyes open. And they were like, watch this fucking movie.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I would imagine when someone says forced to watch this movie.
Just like that.
Wow.
Yeah, no. So I don't know. I just remember being on a lot as a kid. So I remember it being good, but I also remembered like thinking it was a chore.
Sure.
To get through, because like my mom would just like throw this one on like a lot. It was great. It was fucking great. It was funny. It's kind of cute. There's like some weird shit that like this movie could not get made today.
There's a lot of weirdness.
Yeah.
Because of the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
But like if you like get over I mean, okay. It's hard because I don't want to like get into it before we get into it.
Get on into it.
New year, new me. New year, new you. Because the premise is so rough, but like he's also like a good because like I'm sorry. You think he's going to take advantage of her, and he is in many ways, but not in any kind of a sexual way. Like when she moves into the house,
not in a creepy, like he's never creepy about it.
No.
He's just like, it does seem like it's a prank at first. It seems like it's like just revenge at first.
But like he even makes her sleep on the couch, so they're not sleeping in the same bed. Not even like not having sex. They're not even sleeping in the same bed.
Yeah.
Like it's very almost like chaste for a little bit of the time at least.
Yeah, for sure.
And that like kind of endears you to him, which I don't know if they were planning to do at the time. Like maybe they were, but like it seems like one of those things that they in the 80s they didn't really even think about.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if it was like inadvertent or not, but it does a really good job of, even in the present climate, I would say, there isn't too much about this movie where you're like, oh, that is predatory and fucked up. Like,
right.
If you think about,
I'm sure there's a few moments.
There are, but like, if in 2019, right? Happy 2019, y'all. So, in 2019, if you were pitching me this movie, right? And it was like, all right, Matt, like, tell me what it's about. And you came into my office and you were like,
why do you have an office and I don't?
You're a creative type and I'm a powerful type. Like, is that not?
Is that obvious? Is that an obvious thing between us? I'm the creative one.
I just think if they were going to make a movie about our lives, then, I mean, yeah.
So like Seth Rogen for you and like Bradley Cooper for me. You can't even deny that that's true.
I hate you. Yeah, but you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to let you have that. New year, new me. This new year, new me, I'm going to be more supportive of my friends. Matt, you are such a Bradley Cooper type.
You know what? Thank you. I really feel like a Bradley Cooper type.
You're welcome.
I feel limitless.
See yourself out.
It's my home. Get out.
See yourself out. It's my home now.
I am the captain now.
I am the captain now. So, if you were coming into my office, or like, let's say we're going into a studio exec's office, right?
I like that a lot better.
And we're pitching this movie.
Overboard.
In 2019, right? And we're like, yeah, so she's like knocked unconscious and then she has amnesia and then he tricks her into being his wife and raising his kids. Like, I feel like it off the bat feels weird and predatory.
Immediately does.
And like misogynistic and whatever. But this movie does a really good job of not feeling that way. So
yeah, it endears you towards the situation pretty quickly.
Well, you like both of them, actually. After hating her in the beginning.
Well, she's a nightmare in the beginning.
Let's do, you want to do 3 sentences or less or more?
Well, let's talk about the soundtrack real quick because it's almost nothing.
Because it's nothing.
It's tequila for literally a second. And then it's that one song that they played over and over again. You know what's even funnier is that one of the kids only talks as Pee Wee Herman.
I was hoping that you would say tequila.
Tequila.
Nah, you missed it.
Sorry.
It's fucking ruined.
But
It's ruined. Sorry.
One of the kids, like his hero is Pee Wee Herman, so he only speaks as Pee Wee Herman, and Pee Wee Herman what's it called? Pee Wee's Great Adventure dances to tequila.
Oh, that is kind of funny.
Yeah, I thought so.
Hey, nice connection there, man.
Thanks. I do what I can. Paul Rubens.
What's the other song? The Elvis Presley song.
What's
it called? Fools Rush In?
No.
Wise Men?
Wise men say only fools rush in?
Say only fools rush in?
Those are the lyrics of the song.
I think that's what it's called. I think it's called Wise Men.
Yeah.
Or Wise Men Say.
3 Wise Men. Got it.
3 Wise Men.
Yeah.
Those are the only 2 recognizable songs in the entire movie, though.
Sure.
Which is, like, notable.
I guess. I mean, it's a lot of 80s like synth and like bass.
Yeah, the whole time. There's actually one melody that plays throughout most of the song, throughout most of the movie, that you and I just kept, like, anytime there was silence, you and I were just kind of humming it and doing like
Little
beatboxing. But yeah, no soundtrack.
Yeah, nothing.
Tracked.
All right, so 3
Soundtracked.
sentences.
I said tracked.
I heard. 3 sentences. Go ahead, Garrett.
Why?
What do you mean, why?
But like, why me?
Because I said, and I'm the creative type, remember?
Well, new year, new me. So I'm gonna keep going with this, and just I'm not gonna fight you, because new year, new me. So, so 3 sentences. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
1. Woman who is married to really rich guy and is really terrible herself, has contractor come to boat to do work. That's 1.
That is 1.
Number 2. Wow, that was like the first 8 minutes of the movie in one sentence. Fuck. Okay, number 2. Woman gets into scrap with carpenter guy, and they fight, and she makes it very clear how terrible of a person she is. She's incredibly materialistic, etc. She falls off the boat too. Okay, this is the first 12 minutes of the movie now that I've had 2 sentences on. Right, 3rd sentence, here I go.
He's in trouble here, folks.
She has amnesia. He tricks her into thinking she's his wife.
Is this slam
out
poetry?
of revenge.
She has amnesia. Bam. He tricks her into being wife. Bam.
I'm going to restart my sentence.
Sorry, it felt like slam poetry.
You're a piece of shit. So.
She was a thief. You gotta believe. She stole my heart and my cat.
What the fuck was that?
From So I Married an Axe Murderer. You
Oh, I
fucking
do
monster.
remember that. Oh, the Campbell's Cappuccino. That's from that as well. All right, so 3rd sentence. She falls off boat and gets amnesia, and then he tricks her into thinking she's his wife out of revenge, but ultimately they fall in love. 3. Done. That's it.
Okay.
I don't think that was crazy and terrible.
No, it just felt like you
I struggled.
spent a lot of time on the first 8 minutes of the movie.
I think setup is everything in this instance.
Hey, all about the execution.
And the Benjamins,
I don't... What
like it's all about the Benjamins.
What's a Benjamin?
Popular saying. I don't know. I think it's money.
Is it? But like, what is? Okay. Oh, Benjamin Franklin. Oh, $100 bills, y'all.
Lauren,
$100 bills, y'all.
Learn more about popular sayings. New Year's resolution. New year, new me. Cool. Okay. I'm gonna.
3 sentences. Obnoxious, stuck-up, rich woman hires contractor to fix her yacht's closet. 1. Falls off of boat and has amnesia and is taken in by said contractor to raise his kids too. 3. Grows to love children and way of life, but eventually gets sucked back into her old life until she finds out that her real life began when she got amnesia. 3. I fucking killed that shit.
That was better than mine.
It was way better than yours.
Yeah, that was better than mine.
Are you taking a picture of me? I don't care for it.
Yeah, I was.
Okay, I like it.
You win.
Thanks.
You
I
win
always do.
I think our first sentences were like identical to each other.
No, I combined your first 2 sentences in my 1 sentence.
We'll have to check the tape.
There's no way to know.
Anyway, so soundtrack.
Yeah, we did that already.
Okay. 3 sentences.
Yeah, no, we did that already. What did you think? I mean, I had a great time with this movie. I had a really, really fun time. I didn't expect to enjoy this movie as much as I did.
I remembered it as a chore, and it was actually great. It opens up with like that 80s music, like again, nondescript 80s music, with like this yacht called the Immaculata.
Is that what it was?
Yeah. And it's Goldie Hawn and her husband, the granddad from Gilmore Girls. And they're married and live on this boat. And
Edward Herman.
It makes it
with 2 N's.
It makes it incredibly clear that they are both super, super out of touch.
He's fucking shooting skeet off the back of the
yacht,
but also like firing a gun towards a bridge that's like in the harbor, which I thought was really fucking weird.
Yeah, he could buy whatever person he accidentally shoots. So
he could buy that person's life,
and then it just is. And then oh man, I just tried to stare you down so fucking hard. I was like, where's he gonna go? Is he gonna expect this? No.
Yeah, no, I got it.
Here we are.
I waited for you.
So it starts with that 80s music, and then again, so he's a contractor, right? And he seems like he's like a real working class blue collar guy.
You mean Kurt Russell is?
Yeah. Who's hired to like do this, build her a new closet on her boat because she's bored. She's bored.
Just moved to the Pacific Northwest, so it takes place in Oregon.
He just moved there?
Yeah.
They say that?
Yeah, they say that a couple times. That they just moved to the Pacific Northwest. And they're getting ready to. Goldie Hawn and her then husband are getting ready to ship off to like New York or something. They're getting ready to go on some kind of fucking trip.
She's from New York. I think they're going to go on some trip though. I think that like there's an engine issue or something, and they have to be harbored for a bit. So like they were gonna, he told her to redecorate or whatever because she was bored
to keep herself busy.
Right. She's terrible.
Yeah, she is horrible.
Her outfits are fucking awesome and hilarious.
Insane.
In the beginning of the movie.
They're incredible. Like
she's just wearing all these incredibly like deep cut, like one-piece bathing suits with these elaborate robes around them.
With sequined to the nines and
with like a different pair of crazy sunglasses.
Yeah.
From in every scene in the first 5 minutes, every time it cuts to her doing something else, she's wearing a different outfit.
The 80s and or cocaine were a hell of a drug.
Crazy. Like honestly crazy. Like you would have to be like really high on cocaine.
Yeah.
Cocaine.
So she hires a contractor to come aboard to fix her closet or whatever.
To redo the closet, like build her a walk-in or something. I don't know. So that's Kurt Russell.
And it's Curdy Russ. And
who looks fucking smoking hot.
He's got a fucking bod on him, huh?
Yeah. Kurt Russell's a
you know what?
man.
And let's even say it. Goldie Hawn does too. She's killing it.
Goldie Hawn looks like
She's
beautiful in
killing
this
it
movie.
in this movie.
They both look like I think they're absolute best ever. Maybe
I get it. I get why they fell in love together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They make a beautiful baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
they did make a beautiful baby. Weird.
Yeah.
So anyway, she falls overboard, and name of the movie, right? And hits her head or whatever, and is discovered by like the local police.
Hector Elizondo actually discovers her. Kaminsky himself.
Yeah, he's a garbage person in this.
He drives like a garbage barge.
A garbage barge,
and he finds her.
Yeah,
garbage barge.
Garbage barge.
So Hector Elizondo finds her, and he's like, she was wearing no clothes, and this lady, I find her. And then like the news is interviewing him, and he's like, the boat I love, but my true love is singing.
That's pretty good.
Sing. It's like there's a lot of really funny little like
asides,
comedic notes in this movie.
Sure. My favorite thing, not my favorite thing, but what I think is ridiculous about this entire movie is that they take her into like the psych ward of this tiny little police station. I'm assuming that they have, and
I think she's in like an actual hospital at this
point.
point.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The police are just there, but
but her husband, played by the granddad from fucking Gilmore Girls, comes in and sees that she's there and is like, "Oh fuck, that is her." And then she's being really mean to all like the help or whatever, and he's just like, "Yeah, no, I've never met this woman in my life," and just leaves. He leaves her there.
Yeah.
So like, as shitty as she is, you are more adverse towards him because he fucking is a garbage person and leaves her in this situation.
100%.
Right.
Yes.
And like gets his game, like the second she's gone, he's like hiring hookers and shit and like driving his barge out to like the sea and having these weird crazy parties, sexy parties.
Well, like he goes down to LA and he's like,
did he go down to LA? Oh, that's right.
And it cuts to him. We don't see him for like a solid 20-25 minutes, and then it cuts to him and he is dancing on the deck of the boat
Right.
with like a bunch of like
Floozies.
women in bikinis, and he's like, I love my starlets, what's your name? And she's like, Rum Chata or some shit. I don't remember what she says.
Rum Chata.
I don't remember what she says, but she says it's like honestly it's like something similar to Rum Chata.
Dry martini.
Yeah, and then he just keeps fucking breaking it down to 80s music on the boat. I thought the tone of this movie was timeless.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Like there were so many like sign of the times type things, but it was the actual tone of it was so fucking timeless. Like I thought it was like, I think that's why we both enjoyed it so much. It was like super approachable.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing relied on anything that was like super contemporary for the time that this movie came out. You know, like it was like I mean, like that scene, right? He cuts to him like just like bum ba dum bum bum ba ba bum ba bum ba, like just fucking breaking it down.
99 red balloons right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Even if cell phones were introduced into this movie, like it still doesn't fix the situation, because if she had fallen overboard with her cell phone, except for the most part, they're not terribly waterproof. I guess these days, I don't know. I still use Apple.
These kids these days.
You're a fucking nightmare. Anyway, I'm just saying that, like, even introducing modern technology is not going to change this movie for the most part, in my opinion.
No, but even just like that, beyond that, the tone of it, I think, was like really like approachable. I thought everything about it was really approachable.
Kurt Russell. So I'm sorry. So she falls overboard. Title of the movie again. And he takes her. He finds her on the news while he's at the bowling alley, and he takes her home. He like convinces the doctors that he's her husband. After
her husband shows up and decides not to step up and take her.
We've
right?
already spoken about this. Yes, correct. But the doctors are flat out just like, yeah, get her off of our fucking hands.
She's mean. Yeah, take her away.
I actually wrote it down. Oh God, where is it? He says
pages.
He seems to like you, and he's very nice, is what they say to her about when she's like, I don't know this guy. Please don't do this to me. I don't know who this is. He seems to like you, and he's very nice. Oh, that's all the reason to let this person go.
Yeah, it's definitely not a serial killer or like some other horrible villain type.
Analyst.
Don't do that. Analyst therapist.
Analyst.
Don't do that.
So he takes her home, and he like prefaces this with his kids being like, I'm gonna take this girl home, and you're gonna pretend like she's your mom.
Yeah, they're all in on it.
Yeah,
that was a weirder thing to me, that the kids were prefaced on this kidnapping. You know, they're like, he was like, boys, you'll all be accessories, but you're all minors, so what does it matter?
Who cares?
I think that was definitely like a really weird note.
One of the kids is like a well-known dude. He's from Big and what was the other thing?
I only recognized him from Big. I think you had recognized him from other stuff. Goonies? Was he in Goonies?
No. His name is Jared Rushton. Oh, he's from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, that was like 90s though. He's a little bit older in that. Right?
Yeah, a little. Yeah, he's like one of the teenage kids in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. He's not the young one with the glasses and stuff.
Oh man, I just remember him from Big. He's the best friend in Big.
Yeah, correct.
God, shit, Big is such
anyway. So he takes her home to his 4 children and convinces them that they're
4 boys.
Yeah, 4 boys
under the age of 13. The oldest is 13.
That sounds like a nightmare. Anyone who would do that is a nightmare person. But no, I mean,
okay.
So he takes her home and convinces her that these are her children. And like a bunch of and like he's playing it like kind of coy and like making it kind of fucked up, but also funny, where he's like, oh yeah, you were a short fat person at one point, but like you grew out of it.
You lost all that weight.
Yeah.
But
he doesn't try and take advantage of her in a sexual way at all.
Yeah, it definitely seems like it's a prank at first, but even if it's a prank, like it's definitely still fucked up. Like, yeah. I think like in a realistic context, it's like he's still going to jail. He's still a felon.
It's still kidnapping.
It's still a felony for sure. But like, it's not. The movie does a good job of keeping it like lighthearted enough, You know, it's like,
Yeah, there's nothing.
he's like, oh, here, oh, sweetheart, these are your daily chores that you do every day. Here's a list of them. I made them for you. Or like, oh, you sleep on the couch every night.
Because
the
your
dogs
back
like
always
sleep with
hurts
her or
you,
whatever. And like, I don't know.
while she's sleeping on the couch, she has this like dream sequence or whatever of like her being in like high fashion clothes or whatever by like a piano bar, and she's dancing with this guy. And even in her dream sequence about being like back in her rich like situation,
It's not her husband.
It's not her husband.
It's not. Yeah, I noticed that. Yeah, 100%.
It's weird.
It's not her husband. Because he's a dick, dude.
Well,
He's
he's such a fucking
Schmoopy
douche, man.
Poopkins, what are you going to do then? Blah, 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 blah. He's the least chivalrous fucking dude in the world.
She's like, I forget. Well, that's what like leads her to being thrown overboard. Is that she says, I forgot my wedding ring on the deck. First of all, who takes off their wedding ring? But she says, I forgot my wedding ring on the deck, and he's like, all right, well, go fucking get it.
He's like, well, what do you want me to do about it? She's like, go get it. He's like, it's after midnight. They're on a fucking boat. There's no one there.
There
It's
are no
just-
rules. If you're
it's just
on a
them.
boat, there are no rules after midnight.
But like, it's just them. It's not like, oh, I might get mugged if I go outside.
You don't know. There could be someone hiding on the docks.
Like a pirate?
Like a pirate.
No,
a
they're
pirate.
they're on the open seas at this point.
No.
Yes, they are, because this is when she goes overboard. Oh, we said the name of the movie.
We've said it like 8 times.
This is when she goes overboard, and they're like at sea already.
Yeah, you're right.
So like, there's no one around. Nothing dangerous is waiting for him. He's just a dick and wants to see what comes through on the television.
Right, he's watching like the top 10 yachts in the world or whatever, and he's
and he's not on it.
yeah. Well, of course he's not on it. It's like him like jerking himself off to it essentially. Like he's just like I want to see who's number one this time.
He also, I wrote down, he calls her a bunch of stupid nicknames
Does he?
in the first 15 minutes of the movie or whatever he's in for the first bit. But the funniest one was, we'll do whatever you want, Diddums.
Diddums.
He calls her Diddums. And I
Do
was
whatever
like,
you
that's
want, Diddums.
Diddums, honey bumpkins. It's really, really funny. He's like, he is so insufferable, but he is so perfectly cast as this insufferable, like kind of waspy, like country club type.
R.I.P.
He's also dead now. He's a dead guy now.
He's a dead guy. He died. He died.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. Mr. Gilmore.
Yeah. Anyway, so she like eventually starts falling into her role as this like hillbilly mama.
Well, the funny thing is she's resistant to it at
Like
first.
the entire no, not at first, almost the entire time.
For at least the first half of the movie, she's like, this can't be my life.
Yeah.
Like, this can't be it. Like, she knows better. It can't possibly be. And then she, like, starts to fall in love with the kids. And then she starts to fall in love with Kurt Russell. And then she sees, like, at one point she thinks he's, like, cheating or something. And she goes out and she sees that, like, he secretly has a second job at night that he didn't want people to know about. You know? And, like, she falls in love with him and realizes he's, like, a really great salt-of-the-earth type of guy. Even though he's a fucking walking child, which she refers to him as, you know, several times. She's like, oh, he's, like, a fully grown adult child. Which, like, he is. He's, like, a really immature dad. And he's, like, you know, an immature person to begin with.
Though he loves his kids very much.
Yeah.
What are they called? The GG, the gruesome gang or something like that?
Yeah.
Something they call themselves the gruesome gang, and he's Dr. Death.
No, the youngest son is Dr. Death.
No.
No, for real. The youngest son is Dr. Death. His bed has a signpost that says Dr. Death on it.
But at the end of the movie, Kurt Russell goes into their little clubhouse and says, "It's Dr. Death." I think Dr. Death is the dad.
He says paging Dr. Death.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's calling them. The youngest son, the one who talks like Pee Wee Herman, is Dr. Death. They refer to him as Dr. Death.
Paul Rubens.
I don't.
Paul Rubens is Pee Wee Herman.
Okay, but we're talking about. It's a different thing. I wish you were dead. I wish you were dead.
Tequila!
I hate you so fucking much.
You joined in.
You did that to me.
Joined
oh,
in.
like I wasn't gonna join in. Oh, like I wasn't just gonna fucking dive right into that.
So
I'm sorry. I got so mad, dude.
It's okay.
New year, new me. So
You're gonna be like a nicer, sweeter Garrett for the rest of the year.
new year, new me.
I don't believe it. I refuse to believe it.
Yeah.
She starts to fall in love with the kids and like shows up to their school and everything and like defends them to their teacher.
So they're supposed to be taking standardized tests, and they're all like complaining of being sick or whatever. And the teacher doesn't
being
believe
a real
them.
prick McGrick.
And she's like, she calls Goldie Hawn into the office. She's like, you know, like they need better parenting. This is ridiculous. You know, they're pretending to be sick, whatever. Like instead of taking their testing, and like they're well below average and whatever else. And Goldie Hawn comes in and she's like, they all have poison oak. How did you not notice that they all had poison oak?
You monster.
And she like goes off, and she's like, I actually love that scene. It's actually an awesome scene.
It's a very endearing scene.
She's walking towards the teacher, and the teacher keeps backing up while Goldie Hawn makes like valid point after valid point, like in defense of the kids.
In her fucking Canadian tuxedo.
She's wearing a Denny Jackie and some Denny jeansies, and it's incredible. And then eventually she pushes the teacher far back enough that the teacher just sits back down in her chair and kind of like concedes that she was wrong. But it's also like you see Goldie Hawn, like that was the point at which I think you see like she's really fallen in love with these kids, and she's really like, she thinks they're her kids, but she's also now treating them like they're her kids.
It's the turn of the movie. It's when she accepts her fate as to what people have been telling her it is.
But I think she's also found
Love in a Hopeless Place.
Keep going.
I don't know how it goes.
Do it. Why'd you stop?
I don't know how it goes. That's all I had.
Okay.
That's all I had.
But it's not that she accepts her fate so much as like, I think she's in love with it now. She's found the charm of this life that she, you know, was tricked into, but she's found the charm of it. You know, she loves these kids. She's found things about Kurt Russell that she really loves, and he's fucking dreamy, you know?
So dreamy.
So that was, I agree. That is the turn of the movie. And honestly, after that point, I was like, all right, she can never leave. Which actually, that's another thing. At one point, the youngest son, nicknamed Dr. Death, is like sitting in bed with her or whatever.
Like Joey or something, or Bobby or something.
No way to know.
There's no way to
know. No one can know. No way to look it up or know.
No one can know.
So she's talking to him, and he's like, you're not going to leave, right? And she's like, no. And he's like,
again, the kids know that she's not their mom.
I'm your mom. Why would I ever leave?
Moms don't leave.
He's like, moms leave sometimes. She's like, moms don't leave. Which there's a callback to later, so the whole thing comes to a head. She kind of finds clues or whatever about it, but she never really remembers until the douchebag husband is basically threatened by Goldie Hawn's mom.
Who's this prim and proper lady who lives in New York? With
very affluent.
Yeah, like ridiculous.
Many servants. And like...
Who she yells at for feeding the dog the wrong way.
Yeah, you don't shove food into Shitaki's mouth.
You place it on her tongue.
The dog's name is Shiitake. So...
like mushrooms.
Right. So... basically, like, the douchebag husband's having a great time, like, fucking riding the yacht around.
Great time.
Hitting on girls, partying with girls that are not his wife. And then he is basically threatened by the mother-in-law that, like, if he doesn't go find his wife, Goldie Hawn, she's going to send someone to kill him, essentially.
Right.
So he goes and he finds her, and because he knew where she was the whole time. Because he went to the hospital and walked away from her.
I don't think he knew exactly like where she ended up.
He knew she was in that town.
Right, for sure.
So he finds her, and then there's a point where Goldie Hawn and Kurt Russell and the kids come home from wherever the hell they were.
They were at the grand opening of Kurt Russell's theme miniature
golf course,
which is fucking, it looks abysmal. I mean, I guess it's the 80s, so who fucking knows? I don't know, but it looks like somewhere I'd never like to be.
It doesn't look great. I'm sure it's fun.
I'm sure someone got hepatitis there.
But also it doesn't look like many people got hepatitis there.
Like hepatitis A, hepatitis B, hepatitis C, all of them.
I took a test. I got
an A, B, and a C. It's hepatitis A, hepatitis B, yeah.
So they come home from there, and she has flowers that Kurt Russell had given her.
No, the kids gave it to her.
Oh, I'm sorry, the kids gave her.
Idiot.
And she's running to the house, and her douchebag husband... Grant is like standing outside, and she sees him. She's like, "Hi, Grant. I just have to put these in water." And she runs in the house, and you realize that was all it took to jog her memory.
Which is, a weirdly terrifying thing. Like the human brain's a fucking mystery, but like to be like, oh man, I don't remember any of this, and then all of a sudden, all these fucking memories come flooding back to you.
Oh, yeah.
Weird, terrifying thing.
Well, she's got like 2 lives built into her brain box now.
Right.
You know, it's insane. But
Brain box.
she sees him, and it all comes rushing back. My other thought was, if he had just walked into the room, like when he first went to claim her
done.
at the hospital,
Game over.
and she, you know, perhaps she would have been, like, her memory would have been jogged immediately there.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
And this never happens.
Right, the movie's over.
The movie's just over.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious. Like, I mean, maybe not, but realistically, like, she would have been like, oh, Grant, hi, Grant. And then, like, she would have, everything would have come back at that point. But instead, now she has fallen in love with a different life. In theory, like, he fucked himself over, because at the end, spoilers,
you find out that all the money is hers anyway.
all the money is hers, and she ultimately, once she realizes this life is hers, she doesn't want to be with him. She realizes she's not in love with him anymore, and she wants to leave him. And he's a maniac.
He is a maniac.
But realistically, like, he could have continued his regular life if he had just claimed his wife and done the decent thing and been like, oh, sweetheart, like, hi, I'm so glad we found you. Or,
right.
You know, like, instead of like, oh, I don't know who that is.
I'm just going to try and take her for all of her money.
Who knows? Crazy shit.
No way to know.
No way to know.
No one can know.
But yeah, the memories come like flooding back with Grant or whatever else. And like,
And she gets back on the boat with him, and they're sailing to New York to see her mother. Oh no, the mother's there.
Mm-hmm.
The mother's there
on the yacht with
a psychiatrist too as well, right?
Right, to help her like parse through some things, because she remembers like both lives now essentially.
But it's one of those things that like she's like found more like enjoyment in her hillbilly like rustic life, where she's like, everyone's sitting around and she's like, can I have a beer? And everyone's like, oh goodness, a beer. And all that kind of stuff. And then you find her like in the fucking galley with like servants doing fucking tequila shots, which is great.
She's like teaching the kitchen staff of the yacht how to like do shots. Yeah. Well, and that was actually a really good scene too, because after they like take shots or whatever and they all leave, she's in the kitchen with the butler, Andrew, who was
his name?
It's Roddy McDowall.
Roddy McDowall, yeah.
Who was her butler for years.
Right.
And she's like, I don't know, she's like found some humility at this point, and she was like, she's talking to him, and he explains to her kind of by doing an impression of her how awful she was, and she apologizes to him. She's like, I've been so bad. I've behaved so badly.
Very earnestly.
It was, and it was a really good scene. I like that scene a lot, actually. And she sincerely apologizes to him, and he's like, apology accepted.
Yeah. Hey.
And he's a class act. He's great.
Water under the bridge.
But he was such a good character, and he's been maybe, 20 minutes of the whole movie, 15 minutes of the whole movie?
I would say less, yeah, 15 probably.
He's great. I think Roddy McDowall's great. Are you saying grape or grape?
I said grape, like the fruit.
Okay.
All right.
But ultimately, she gets on the boat with the douchebag husband. She goes like, he's going to take her back to New York. She tells him like, I don't love you anymore. This isn't for me, because she's like seen this other kind of more earnest, salt of the earth sort of like way of life, and she's into that. She wants to do that. She loves the kids. She loves Kurt Russell. And
who wouldn't with that feathered hair?
That feathered hair and those pecs.
Sure.
You ever notice like there's a couple times in the movie he like stretches his
he's got those real deep cut
it's like a cut off tee.
Right.
And then he pushes the arms in a bunch.
So you can see the pecs on the side.
You just see nipples.
That's actually one of the few times she's jogged her memory is when he's doing that in the closet, and she's like, I remember this. You were fixing my closet.
Sexy Pac-Man.
Yeah, sexy Pac-Man.
Ooh, I remember this. The whole scene at the end with the boats is adorable. He chases her in a Coast Guard boat as like a favor from a friend, and she's trying to turn the boat around, her yacht, to come back to him. And there's a point where the boats are going to be pulled away from each other, and they both jump in at the end.
Yeah.
And it's actually awesome.
Oh, wait, Garrett. How many times this movie did they say the word Overboard?
I think it was 6.
It was a lot more than one, let me tell you.
So they said it once in the beginning, and then they didn't until the end.
Yeah,
and then in the end, they said it
8
five
times. Yeah.
more times. In the last 10 minutes of the movie, they said the word 5 more times. So Matt won the fucking bet.
Yet again.
Yeah.
Yeah, again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next week, I will make another unilateral decision about what we're watching.
I feel like I know what you're going to do.
I feel like you couldn't possibly.
Okay.
Oh, the beer. We didn't touch on the beer at all.
Sea Spray IPA from Garvey's Point Brewing.
In Glen Cove, New York. Delicious. Really, really great. Like juicy IPA.
Really good.
Yeah.
Better than I remembered it being even. Super good.
Not terribly high in ABV, but felt a lot more boozy than it was.
Yeah, I feel like
right?
it got me like pretty drunk, but
Right?
it says 6.7 on the can. Unless you guys are lying to us over there at Garvey's Point Brewing. Are you?
Don't lie to us.
Don't
ever lie to us.
Don't ever lie to us. No, but it was killer. It was a killer beer.
Yeah, really, really great. I had a great time. I had
10 out of 10 would drink again. You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you feel like this movie died?
Hard to say. They made they did a reboot of it recently, right?
Yeah, Anna Faris.
Does that make it okay?
Does that make it dead?
Does that make it dead? Yeah. Did they remake it because it had died?
That's an excellent question.
That's what I'm asking.
I don't think so. I think they remade it because it was like a commercial success and because people like look at it fondly. So they were like, oh, let's cash in on this again. You know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it died.
The Anna Faris one, I feel like wasn't terribly like promoted. Like I feel like it wasn't a huge thing when it came out. Like this movie is a very classic 80s movie.
I feel like the Anna Faris one, like from what I remember, being like a flash in the pan.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like it came out and everyone was like, "Oh, did you hear? By the way, they remade this."
Yeah.
Almost kind of like the Chips movie. Like Chips was a big thing in the 80s.
True.
Right?
Yeah. And then what is that?
It was Dax Shepard's movie.
Shepard.
Dax Shepard like directed that movie. I think it's his directorial debut.
And was it Michael Pena, right?
Michael Pena and him, and I think his wife was in it. Can't remember.
Kristen Bell?
Kristen Bell, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should.
I'd actually really like to watch that.
Yeah, we do.
Dax Shepard's podcast, Armchair Expert.
Great.
Really great.
Yeah,
Listen
really,
to that.
really very good. Good interviewer.
He's a great interviewer.
Yeah. So, yeah, I don't think it died. Would you recommend it?
Yeah, for sure. Oh man, I had a great time with this movie.
I would totally recommend it too. I feel like people that I know that like this movie, like love this movie.
I don't think there's a single person that I know that doesn't like this movie.
But I also feel like not a lot of people have seen it, like in our generation.
We're fairly young. I mean, in comparison to when this movie came out.
This is almost a 32-year-old movie.
So it came out when I was 2 years old.
Yeah, 87.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oof.
Oof.
I had a great time, though. I don't know. I really enjoyed it. Everyone did, like, there was no bad performance. Did you have a favorite character?
Shit.
Did you have a least favorite character? Either one?
So I think Goldie Hawn is actually my favorite character in this movie, which is rare because I feel like it's not often that we think the main character is the favorite.
Well, we generally like to have, like, the comic relief on the sides.
Or, like, the dog.
Yeah.
Or, like, something
Or
ridiculous.
the dog.
No, but honestly, I think this is one of the few where the main, like, honestly, I think she's the main character. Her and Kurt Russell are the two main characters.
For sure.
And I think she's my favorite character. I think she's great. She shows growth. She's, like, pretty funny. Her physical comedy throughout the movie is like great.
Fantastic, yeah.
When she at one point she puts like a bunch of different types of soaps into the washing machine and then it starts dancing across the room at her and she hits it with an axe.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
That's the funniest shit.
Yeah.
That's the funniest shit. Like I thought that was really good. I thought she was dead on.
There's that whole montage actually of where like they leave her to do these chores and she's doing them all wrong, but also still kind of getting them done.
She's getting them all done, but has no idea what she's
vacuuming
doing.
up the kitchen table with like the Cheerios.
Yeah, she's vacuuming Cheerios out of cereal bowls.
Yeah.
No, I think she's my absolute favorite. What do you have a favorite character?
I think she's both my favorite and least favorite character. Of the
like
movie.
in the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's a fucking nightmare person in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
And then she endears herself to you like as she like falls in love with these kids and like falls in love with the lifestyle that they lead.
Right.
Yeah.
I think while he's necessary, the husband, the grandpa from Gilmore Girls, I think
Grant.
I think he's my least favorite.
By the way, I didn't even notice the part where he was singing into the shell with like the porno movie behind him. Like I couldn't even, for the life of me, like point that out in the movie.
I don't remember that happening.
Yeah,
like at all.
At all.
So maybe never. Who knows?
Who knows?
He was my least favorite though, like by far. Like, and I think he's supposed to be the villain. Like they set him up to be the villain.
What
Grant.
Grant.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. I mean, the mother is also not great.
She's funny though.
She is funny, and she's also not like a villain in a way that she affects anything in a negative way.
At the end of the movie, when Goldie Hawn like is steering the ship and she cuts the wheel super hard,
and she just falls out.
And the captain's like, "Oh, don't cut it so hard! It'll." And then it cuts downstairs to the Grant, like the Goldie Hawn's mother, in bed, and she flies to one side.
Yeah.
And like flies out of bed. It was hysterical, but then they double down on it because a little bit later they like stop the boat short or they speed it up, I think, really quick. And then she goes flying off the bottom of the bed. Like, it's just funny. Like,
sure.
Old ladies flying off beds apparently
really gets your motor running.
The pinnacle of humor for me. The absolute pinnacle of humor for me. Do you think this? You actually looked at me at one point during our watch,
our viewing,
and you're like, "Is this a chick flick?"
So here's the thing. I still don't really believe that it is.
Are you fucking kidding? Show your work.
I just don't really understand like what makes it a chick flick. You tell me. You show your work.
I think it's a rom-com in a relatively...
It's incredibly a rom-com.
In a relatively like early point in rom-coms. And the focus is the relationship. It's not really like the focus isn't the comedy. It's not like a laugh out loud movie for the most part. There are points where I laughed out loud.
Of course.
But like maybe 3 or 4 times in the movie. And I think the rest of the time it's like the focus is like, will they, won't they? Are they falling in love? Like, is she going to go back to the guy she was with? Or is she going to stay with Kurt Russell, who clearly like actually is like earnestly in love with her? Like, I think it's a romantic movie more than anything, and I think 100% it's a chick flick. Is there a real reason you don't think it is, or you just thought it was more of a comedy?
I just thought it was more of a comedy, like a regular standard like 80s comedy.
I didn't think it was funny enough to just be considered a comedy.
I thought it was super funny.
It's very funny, but I don't think I don't think the humor is the focus. I think the love story is the focus.
Okay. The love story between them or the love story between her and her kids?
No, between them.
Okay.
Between them, for sure. She loves the kids. I think they make it very apparent that she, like, really falls for the kids.
Right.
But, like, them, definitely.
She really straightens them up. When she first meets them, they're all wearing, like Spider-Man t-shirts and, like, blah, 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 and all this kind of... And, like, one of them is wearing, like, hospital scrubs
they
or
all
whatever.
Just look dirty.
Yeah. And then by, like, the time that she figures out who she is, they're all, like, kind of in collared shirts and khakis and, like, hanging out together.
Are they?
Yeah, do you not remember that? Where he comes out to like be like, I'm trying to tell her who she really is.
Oh, and they're sitting
like,
at the bench.
Yeah, and they're just like, yeah, no, she's our mom. We don't want her to leave.
Yeah, those kids needed a mom, man.
Who doesn't? Everyone needs a mom.
But Kurt Russell was also like he wasn't cutting it as like a single dad.
Well, he was trying his hardest.
No, I get it, but he was like a big kid. Yeah,
he's a big old baby. Yeah. He's a big old baby boy.
And when she pointed out the problems to him, like that the kids were having, she was like, "Yeah." He was like, "They'll figure it out." Like essentially, you know,
right? He wants them to be his friends instead of taking an
administrative
role.
And she was like, "Why don't you fucking be a dad to your kids?
Just be a dad. Just be a dad.
Just be a dad."
I don't know. I think that's about it.
We liked it.
I loved it.
What was the Roddy Tomato score on this shit?
Okay. So the tomato meter is ridiculously low. Like, I'm blown away by how low the tomato meter is.
What do you got?
44%.
Fuck, that is much lower than I thought it would be.
Right? I'm blown away by this. The audience score is much higher, and like probably around what I would expect for the movie. Maybe a little low. It's 73%.
I think that's about right, actually. That's probably...
I was thinking more of an 80. Like,
I was thinking
to
80.
A B.
I was thinking 80 also. But I also, like... I think that's okay. Like, I think that's close enough. Because honestly, I'd probably give this movie an 80.
You
like
would
an
give 80%? It an 80?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm not, like, offended by the 73. But
the 44.
44 is incredibly low.
It's heartbreaking.
It's unfair.
It's a little unfair.
Shit.
I don't know if what they're... See, I need to get, like, better versed on what Rotten Tomatoes is. Like, the critic score is, like, rating it by. Because, like, are they rating this against, like, Citizen Kane? Because obviously, of course, it's not as good as a movie. But, like, I don't know. I just think that, like, they're giving an unfair shake.
Yeah, I would agree.
Okay. Hey, Garrett, where would you rank this among your movies? So we've got 26 in the pan. In the pan? In the cross pan? The crosshairs. Something. We have 26. We've done 26 episodes before. Where are you gonna put this?
Top half, for sure.
Okay.
I think this for me goes above 13 going on 30.
So you're putting it at number...
Yeah, I think this
12?
goes just below You've Got Mail for me. So this will now be number 12.
No, you have Pretty in Pink in the middle there. You're missing something.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. So this will be number 11 then.
So
it'll go just above Pretty in Pink and just below You've Got Mail.
Okay. So you've got Mail at 10, Overboard at 11, and 13 going on... Oh, I'm sorry. Pretty in Pink going on 12.
Yeah.
What's your number one?
My number one will remain Moonstruck for the time being.
And your number 27
is Made Manhattan.
Okay.
As it will remain.
Okay.
How about you? Where do you put it?
Do you want to know where this really goes for me? Do you want to know? This is number 2.
Are you fucking kidding?
You know what? I'm not kidding at all. This is number 2.
So,
number 1 remains Devil Wears Prada. This pushes Just Friends to number 3, and this is number 2.
Wow.
Yeah, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I had a great time. A grape time. I had a grape flavored time.
Clearly.
Yeah.
Wow, Matt.
I don't know what else to say. I had a great time. I'm gonna shift the cells down here. Where are we? Is that everything? Yeah, that's pretty much everything. We did our list. We did the rating. We did Rowdy Tomatoes.
Yeah, I'd recommend. We already covered that.
We both recommend.
You'd recommend. I think that's it for the first episode of the new year
of 2019.
2019.
Garrett, where can our listeners find us?
At DGOCF on Twitter, at Drunk Guys on Chick Flicks on Instagram, Drunk Guys on Chick Flicks at gmail.com if you want to shoot us an email, some sort of Facebook that I've never looked at, and Matt's home phone number, which is 516-555-5555.
Why would you give them my real home phone number? That seems like a really irresponsible thing to do. If they wanted to call me, we could set up like a 1-800 number or something. But now they're going to be calling my home number off the hook because so many people listen to this. And you know what? My wife's going to get upset and then I'm going to get in trouble. And this whole thing's going to come crashing down. Thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate it.
New year, new me.
New year, new Garrett. New year, not new me.
Thanks for listening, guys. We have a bunch of fun movies coming up this year. We can't wait to get through.
We have some surprises coming up, hopefully. That'll be nice. Ooh, huh? That'll be fun.
Caliente. Surprise.
What does caliente
hot,
mean?
Hot.
Oh, hot. Sticky, sweet.
Degrees, yeah. Anyway, thank you so much. Catch us next time, and thanks for listening. Bye.
Goodbye.